Today I'd like to introduce to you my latest VST plugin called Nyabinghi Drums. The user interface looks like this. More about that after the intro.
Mr. DK.
Welcome to Mr. DK TV. This video is brought to you by my sound company
Soundspremium.
I'm proud to present to you my new VST plugin for Mac, for Windows. It is available as AU, as VST2 and VST3. It's a 64-bit plugin which runs in your DAW. And there are also 48 loops included, which I have recorded live in my studio sessions. As an add-on, you can also buy the Midi package for it, where you have Thunder Midi loops, where you have repeater loops, shaker loops and thunder loops. So then you can program them up to taste. Now it's time to put your headphones on so that you can get every detail of this plugin. Let's go. Now I'm in my DAW Studio One and now I'm going to load up the plugin. I just drag and drop it in. There it is, and this is the plugin, how it looks like. We have two VU meters, one for the left channel, one for the right channel, and here we can change our sets. Right now it's Nyabinghi 1, it's a drag down menu. We have Nyabinghi 2 and Nyabinghi 3. You can also use these arrow buttons right here. So now I'm in Nyabinghi 3. If I want to go back, I just hit this arrow right here and then it's going back to the desired set you want to use. So now I want to mention something about the concept. I have used only the white keys to make finger drumming possible because the black keys are very small, very slim, so it's better to use the white keys for finger drumming. There are 8 velocities per key or per drum sound. So you have a very realistic playing feel. So on the first 2 white keys we have the thunder drum. This drum is responsible for the low tones, for the bass energy. You have a hit with a beta, with a long sustain, that's this one. And you also have a shorter sustain to stop the drum from vibrating, to have a much shorter sustain. So this is a choke group. You can mute the first sound with the second sound, like the real drum is also doing when you hit the drum with a different position of the beta. So it looks like this. This concept goes for every Nyabinghi set which is inside my VST plugin. So the next drum is the Funde drum, which is responsible for the heartbeat in Nyabinghi drumming. And we have also a flam, which sounds like this. And it's all velocity sensitive. So we have the Funde drum, which is represented on these keys. And then we have the repeater drum, you can find right here. And then we have a shaker sound, and the triggering of the shaker is on the one side when you pull down the key like this, and when you release the key you have a second trigger. So this gives you a very authentic shaker feel. There are also 8 layers each, so for the sound which is triggered by pressing down the key, and 8 further layers by releasing the key. And now I will give you a preview of all the sets that are included. We have loaded up Nyabinghi 01, and I load up the Midi loop pack, which is an add-on which you can buy in my shop as well on soundspremium.com, and I will load up some Midi loops. There are 48 loops included. You can combine up to taste. I just go for Thunder 01 loop D first to add in the Thunder drum, and then I'm going to look up the Funde, which I will put on the same track as well, also with loop D, and then play it together. And then I will add the shakers as well. So I will go for shaker 01 loop D, put it on the same track. And then I will put in the repeater 01 loop D. Drag and drop, it's just drag and drop, and you can modify the MIDI however you want. Yeah, maybe I change the repeater. I will delete it again and I will add another repeater which is playing a top line. Randomly I pick up another repeater loop. Yeah, there it is. You can hear the top lines. So now I will give you a demo. This is Nyabinghi 01. Just have a listen. Now there is Nyabinghi 02. And last but not least, there is Nyabinghi 03, which sounds like this. Let's take a look on the output channels right here. It's drag and drop. There you can change the output channel to other channels. You have 16 channels available and you just can route them to your DAW to have the drums on separate audio outputs. That's very handy for your DAW. You can change this to whatever you like. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 order then, and route it directly wherever you want to route it to different channels. Yeah, I would put it from 1, 2, 3, for example. So 1, 2, 3, and then you have this option to mix it independently in your DAW if you don't want to use these mixers here. This is just an option, an extra to give you more flexibility. For now I will put it back to 1, just to play around with the mixer and to showcase this. So let's give it a listen. Now I can turn down the repeater, maybe turn down the shakers, turn off the Thunder drum. Yeah, that's too much, maybe put it down again. The Funde drum. I can take out the Thunder, dial it back. And you also have a main gain where you can influence the overall volume of the plugin. And you have distortion going on. This is an effect. You can turn it off. If it's white, it is turned off. If it's lighting up in orange, it is turned on. The same is with the reverb and with the delay, which is turned off by default. And you can add it in by just hitting this button. It's very self-explanatory. And yeah, let's try out the distortion to give you an idea. We have a mix knob. I will increase that value. I will turn it clockwise to increase it. This is the mix. You can turn it up to 100% or turn it off. Then it's like turning off the effect. And you have the gain, which is making the distortion more obvious. I turn up the gain a little bit. Now it's very distorted. You can go very crazy with it. If you turn up the drive, then it's getting very aggressive when you turn it up. Yeah, you see, you can go crazy with it. It's not sounding very natural anymore. Just a little bit of distortion is very good to give it a certain character. That's okay, but you can use it also for different styles, even in trap music, or going crazy with it, doing some experiments. Then you can go crazy with the distortion. I will turn it off for right now and just add in the reverb. Now you have a certain room characteristic, so you can also increase the mix. Now it is sounding very far away. You have the size knob to make the size of the room bigger, then you have more room for the reverb. Yeah, it's a little bit too much of reverb now, but just to demo what you can do, then you have damping function to not damping it. This is like that, and you have a lot of sustain in the reverb, and you can increase it clockwise. Then you have a lot of damping going on. And what you can also do is to play around with the stereo width. So you can turn it to mono like this. I will turn down the mix a little bit. Turning up the volume of the plugin maybe. Using the main gain. Yeah, and now I will turn in the width. If you got headphones on like me, then you will realize the difference. So I will turn this one off as well. Then you have the delay. There's also a mix knob. I have turned it on, increasing the mix to this value. Turning it down again, it's too much. Yeah, you can play around with the time. You can increase the feedback. Yeah, now it's nearly endless. Yeah, you can turn it down again. And by the way, when you want to put a value back to default, you just hit your left mouse key, double click on the desired knob, and then it's turning back to the default setting. This is also very handy, just to give you a demo on that. So this is something you can do. And what you can do also, I just deactivate all effects. This is the Thunder drum again. Yeah, we can maybe to the left or to the right, or just a little bit to the right. So this is up to taste, or dial it back by clicking twice with the left mouse key. You can tune your drum, so making it darker, lower. You can put it up. Now it is sounding like a tom. And yeah, that's what you can do with it. You can do this with the Funde as well. Yeah, the repeater, turning up the volume of the repeater. It's very nice to have, so you can tune your drums inside of the plugin. That's very easy. It's a very good algorithm. You don't have artifacts or anything like that. And now there is a velocity curve, which is also very important. So you have the velocity curve set to normal. So when you hit your keys, or let's try this maybe with a repeater, which is playing the top lines. And there it is. I play a low velocity, higher velocity, and if it's not fitting your playing style, you can just play around with the velocity curve then. So this is normal. And you can put it to weak if you don't want to put in so much force, if you're just playing more softly. Then the higher velocities are reached with less force. And you can put it to strong if you are one of the guys who is hitting the keys very hard. Then you need more force to reach higher velocities. So this is something you can just adjust up to taste, so however you like. Then we have our soundspremium homepage if you want to have some options for other products maybe. And yeah, now I'm through with all these functions. We have the VU meters for the left and the right channel. So the left channel is right here and the right channel is right there. This plugin is really good for roots reggae, for dub music. So if you are into reggae and dub music and if you need this plugin, I really appreciate if you buy it on my website. With this money I can reinvest and develop new plugins. So I'm working on a Reggae VST right now to bring it out very soon, on a Reggae dancehall expansions for the MPC heads out there. So I'm designing a lot, bringing out a lot of things because I got plenty ideas. That's it. Now I'm going to show you how to install the plugin. It's very easy to do. You can install it under Windows or under Mac. In this case I'm using a Windows PC. This is a folder which I have downloaded from our site www.soundspremium.com. I just hit the right mouse key and I just hit extract all or unzip and extract, unzipping everything right now in the same folder right here. So there are all the files that are included. You have also a user manual as PDF included so that you can read everything what I have explained in this video as well. We have an installation manual how to install. We have a VST2, a VST3, license agreement as a text file as well. We have the bonus loops, the audio loops, which are included in your product. So it's right here. And the very important folder, which we have to copy over to our VST folder. So Nyabinghi Drums.instruments. Then I'm copying over the VST2 file because my MPC software, I am using two DAWs. It's just reading VST2 and Studio One can read VST3. So I'm selecting both versions. You can just choose or just go for one if you need. And then I just hit the right mouse key and copy these files over to my folder where I'm usually installing all my VST plugins. It's Akai Pro in my case because I'm using an MPC, and I go to VST and then I just copy the files directly into this folder where my VST plugins are. Then I need to have administration rights to do that. The system is asking me, and this time I will be asked 3 times. I just hit continue, continue, and continue because I'm copying over the VST3, the VST2, and the folder with the content. First of all, I'm opening up Studio One, and then you will see my Studio One will scan everything and will detect my new plugin. And I just open up a new song, go to my instruments right here, and there it is. I have soundspremium.com, which is my company. I just open up my plugin right here in Studio One. There it is. It's ready to go. In my other DAW, which is MPC software, you can do this as well. I will showcase that for the MPC users. And by the way, you can also buy an MPC expansion so that you can use Nyabinghi Drums standalone. This is just an extra information for the MPC users. So I'm opening up my DAW MPC, and there you need to scan manually. This is also a very important advice. So if your DAW is not scanning your plugins automatically like Studio One does, you have to do it manually. For this you go to Edit, Preferences, and from there you go to Plugins, and there you hit Scan New. And when you have done this, all my plugins getting scanned, my new installed ones, and Nyabinghi Drums is getting scanned and detected. And after that, you can just use your plugin. It's very easy to do. You just open up Plugin, and then you choose the VST plugin you want to open, soundspremium.com, Nyabinghi Drums. I just hit select, and there it is. Nyabinghi Drums is working in MPC software as well. Yeah, you also have an MPC expansion which is called Nyabinghi Drums, which I have installed also on my system. So this is an option for the MPC users. I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of things in the pipeline. My next VST is in the development. I'm going to release a VST plugin. I'm working on the Reggae Dancehall expansion part 2 for the MPC. And this is what I'm doing. So you can support my work if you buy my products. This helps me a lot. Then I can invest it into new products and new things to be innovative enough for you guys. I give thanks for watching. If this video was helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are into Rasta culture, sound design, MPC content, music production, Africa and more. See you next Sunday, 9 o'clock, Mr. DK TV. I'm out of here. Blessings.